Hi everyone, it's Agnieszka from 5-Minute Language. Welcome to my channel. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. So this video is another highly requested video from you guys. Many of you have told me that you're interested in hearing more about stress and intonation, and this video is going to be the first one in the series, and I'm going to cover the question of stress. So how to sound more like a native speaker and how to use stress to do that. So the first thing I want to say is that stress doesn't exist in every single language, but it does exist in a lot of different languages. So make sure that you understand the way that stress works in the language you're learning, and then hopefully you can apply the advice I'm about to give you to that language. So I'm going to use English as an example because that's the most obvious one, and I know that some of you guys are learning English as well. So there are two types of stress that I want to cover in this video: word stress and sentence stress. So word stress is basically about how you emphasize different syllables in a word. So I know for some of you, depending on what your native language is, it might be quite difficult to grasp this concept because maybe stress doesn't actually exist in your native language. So I'm going to explain this by using two English words, yes and no. And imagine that somebody is asking you, do you like coffee? And your answer is yes. But the person who asked you the question doesn't actually believe that that's true. So what are you going to do to convince them? You're going to emphasize the word yes a bit more. So you're going to say yes, but they still don't quite believe you. So you can emphasize the word yes still a little bit more. So you can say yes. Can you tell the difference? Yes, yes, yes. Okay? And the same goes for no. Do you like coffee? No. If you don't believe me, I'm going to say no. So, can you tell the difference now? No, no, no. I'm emphasizing that word in three different ways. I'm just saying it with a little bit more force. So this is what word stress is about. When I say the English word interesting, I emphasize the first syllable more than the second and the third one. Interesting rather than interesting or interesting. Finding out how to stress words is really easy. Actually, in most languages where stress applies to words, you can just look it up in a dictionary and it will have a marker to indicate which syllable should be stressed. In English, this is particularly easy. Some languages also have rules. For example, in Polish, the majority of words are stressed on the penultimate syllable. So it's easy to memorize that. So make sure that you read up about stress a little bit in the language you're learning and that you follow the rules of that language. So when it comes to sentence stress, which is the other type of stress I wanted to cover in this video, it's a little bit different, but quite similar. So it's about stressing one particular word in a sentence. Take the sentence, I live in London. You could stress the word I, live, or London, and the meaning will be completely different. So when I say I live in London, I mean I live in London and you probably live somewhere else. I, rather than you, live in London. When I stress live, I can say I live in London, but I work in Cambridge. So the meaning changes. And I can say I live in London, stressing the last word in the sentence. So that means that I live in London rather than in Paris. So sentence stress helps you emphasize one word, which is the most important word, or the one that you want to stress because of the meaning that you're trying to create. Sentence stress is a bit more difficult than word stress because, like I said, word stress is something that you can look up in a dictionary, whereas you can't really do that with sentence stress. So what I recommend is that you do a lot of listening and that you work with a native speaker or a fluent speaker of the language you're learning to kind of discuss the differences that you create when you stress different words in sentences. Make sure that you also get feedback from people. So whenever you're having a conversation with somebody in the language you're learning, you can ask them to tell you whether you're stressing the right thing. So I'm going to make a similar video about intonation in the future. Let me know if you liked this one and what else you want to find out. And make sure you subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye!